Hello, and welcome to Sundays in Song. This Sunday is Candlemas, or the Feast of the Presentation. Here we celebrate when Mary brings Jesus to the temple 40 days after his birth. Upon arriving at the temple, they meet Simeon, an old man who is promised not to receive death until he had met the Christ. Upon meeting Jesus, Simeon extols, "Lord, now lettest thou thy servant depart in peace." This text is now known as the Song of Simeon, or the canticle, the Nunc Dimittis. We'll sing a setting of this canticle by Orlando Gibbons during the Eucharist. At the offertory, we'll be offering another text that is linked with the presentation, Senex Puerum Portabat. This particular setting is by the young composer Penrose Alphen. I had the opportunity earlier to speak with Penrose about the composition. Hi, and welcome to Sundays in Song. My name is Doug Buchanan, and I'm here with Penrose Alphen. Penrose is a master's student at the University of Massachusetts at Amherst. It's wonderful to speak with you, and thanks so much for being here.
Thank you for having me.
Absolutely. This Sunday we'll be performing your choral work, Senex Puerum Portabat. It's a work that a text that works really well with the Feast of the Presentation, which is this Sunday. And I was just wondering, what was your process in working with the text, in creating the piece? How did you approach that?
I would say that, in terms of inspiration, I really like floaty melodies, that sense of open harmony and a floating soprano voice. I just love the sound of Palestrina, for instance. Not that it's necessarily evocative of that, but that sort of large sound, and I think that speaks really well to the setting of a religious text.
Mm-hmm.
And there's a sense of grandeur that certain works evoke, and in certain spaces. I'm not sure. Let me try to make this make sense. This summer I went to the Baltics on a tour with my choir. And just the churches that we performed in Latvia and Lithuania. It was okay, here are the spaces that this music was written to be performed in. And I had never sung choral music in a space like a cathedral that large, or with that high ceilings, or any of that, and the acoustics were just incredible. And I actually composed this prior to my trip there, but I guess sort of the evoking of a larger sense of space or being.
That makes absolute sense, and I know you said you thought it may not particularly evoke Palestrina. When I was looking at the piece and was first learning it and reviewing it, I thought, this really feels a lot like it has a sense of that Renaissance style of counterpoint with a slightly with a harmonic language that's tinged a little bit more with the 20th and 21st century, but it certainly very much has that feel both in form and in a lot of the voice leading. So I think that makes a lot of sense. What first attracted you to the text, or did you just happen to find it?
Honestly, it was a semester in college that I had a little bit more time to compose, a little bit more free time, and I was trying to get back into composing, and I would just go to call boards and look at composition contests and see what the parameters were for a piece, and use that as sort of an exercise for myself to make myself produce music.
Sure.
Help myself get back into that, I guess. And so that was a public domain text that was there, and so I went for it, and I first had the piece was premiered at the Transgender Singing Voices Conference in Earlham in Richmond, Indiana, and so that was the first time I had the privilege of hearing the work performed, and I didn't actually know that it was going to be performed there. I got there and I found out, and yeah, they started singing. I was like, oh, this is mine.
A pleasant surprise. Uh-huh.
Indeed, yeah.
What was it like hearing that, particularly as a surprise? Oh, hearing it brought to life. Did it? I know the first time that I hear some of my music brought to life, I am sometimes surprised. Some of the sounds that I had imagined come across differently. Did it? Did you find that it was exactly as you had imagined, or did things sort of? Did it evolve differently when it was? When it was performed live?
It definitely, I don't know. Things coming to life outside off the page is obviously a different. It just sounds different because I didn't have the chance to have it performed by any friends or really. So I was just sort of hearing it in my head, hearing it as a MIDI file. It was like, oh, here's what it sounds like in kind of auditory 3 dimensions. Does that make sense?
Yeah, that absolutely. Are you working on any music right now? Are you focusing on studies on music theory? Or are you doing a little composition as well?
I'm definitely doing composition when I have time. This is more like partially a joke, but my partner got me an automaton for Christmas. So I think I'm going to try to write. I don't think there currently is a concerto for automaton, so I think I might try to write one for a piano and automaton.
Excellent.
That might be my next big project. But, yeah, I'm sort of dabbling in things when I have the time. A little bit of musical theater writing here, a bit of just sort of whatever I have time for when I have time.
Yeah, that's excellent. Well, we're looking forward to offering your piece in Baltimore. We've enjoyed digging into it and getting to know the harmonic language, and we'll certainly be looking out for some more vocal works from you, and perhaps a concerto for piano and automaton.
Hopefully.
Well, excellent. It's wonderful to talk with you, Penrose, and thanks very much for sharing your music with us.
Thank you so much.
I hope you enjoyed getting to meet Penrose, and that you'll enjoy listening to their music this Sunday at the Feast of the Presentation. For Sundays in Song, I'm Douglas Buchanan, and I look forward to singing with you.